We ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
you just sounded good, girl.
Hello. I know.
All right.
My voice is still still at midnight right
We
now.
done made it to 2021. How you feeling over there, Liv?
We did.
21. Nah, I'm excited. We here, y'all. Welcome back.
We made it.
You know what I mean? This how we starting off the year. It's
Starting off
2021.
Yeah.
Auntie vibe. Let's go. Here we go. I know that's right.
Yeah. Good morning.
Shout out to y'all watching us on the tube, and we're just moving in silence.
There was a shout out before the 1 minute mark.
It's to the listeners, though. All right, I ain't gonna shout nobody out.
You're a liar.
I am lying, and I'm not a liar.
I got a few shout outs. It's fine.
You got a few too?
Yeah, I do.
I do
Okay.
too. I'll join you. I'm gonna shout out this tequila because there's still some in my body from last night.
Can I also let y'all know how Bridget and I don't know what we're doing to our insides, but we are taking tequila, chasing it with iced coffee, and that just sounds like a disaster in the making.
Yeah, it sounds like implosion, but
of the boot hole.
I need to stay alert. I just got off the plane, guys. I was at Wet Willie's for New Year's.
You sure was. With the
How was
sparklers.
It was good. It was really good. I had a really great time. I was happy that I went. And I love Mexico. I'm not gonna lie, I really do love Mexico.
Okay.
I did the Mayan ruins tour, and got to see.
You liked it?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was great.
I'm glad you got to do it.
I didn't dive into any cenotes because sadly someone that a couple of our friends knew in Mexico's cousin had drowned in a cenote like 2 days before we got there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, really sad. He got taken down by a riptide, I think, and did not make it back up. So we stayed away from the cenotes, but we did.
That's probably the only thing I like about Mexico.
It was the cenote.
Is the cenote.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool to learn that. I guess in 2005, the tour guide told us. I'm sorry, nerd alert. The tour guide told us that apparently in 2005, Hurricane Wilma. I don't know if it's Wilmer or Wilma.
Wilma.
Hurricane Wilma. Actually, they discovered that there are still a lot of Mayans living in the hiding in the cenotes. Like they're still not living in the water, obviously, but that's where a lot of them have been seeking
that's what I
refuge.
imagine.
Bitch, I was like, they got scuba gear.
God, the Mayans are mermaids. No, that's not. No, but it was cool. I guess there's see, notice. No, I guess there are still a number of people living off the land and that are indigenous Mayans that
is
are still
beautiful.
there, and that's incredible that they've. And I said it when I was there. I was like, the indigenous people, all indigenous tribes and cultures are going to outlast all the rest of us.
Absolutely.
My entire timeline, though, was in
sense.
Mexico.
Yeah.
So between Tulum, Cancun, and Cabo, that is where all of the Americans decided to celebrate the New Year.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
This is where everyone's at.
Yeah.
I was low-key jealous, but,
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know what? What I will say is, though, I did, because there were so many people around, like Tulum really was like Wet Willie's. It was like Dre's too. It was sparklers on the beach. You know what I'm saying? There's a Bagatelle. There's a Bagatelle on the beach. For those of you who are not from New York, you may not understand the significance.
I love Bagatelle.
Of Bagatelle during like New York's prime nightlife time. Bagatelle was a vibe, and
A whole vibe.
They had a whole beach moment with. I'm telling you, it was the sparklers. It's just a lot of sparklers. It was a good time though. It was great. I'm happy to be back though. I missed y'all. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie. I really did. I was. In
You was
Mexico,
having fun for the both of us because we was right here in New York.
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl.
I actually fell asleep at 10 o'clock on New Year's Eve. I finally got into my new apartment, and I've just been unpacking, throwing away boxes, unpacking. So I was a whole boring ass person. So that was my New Year's.
It's called being an adult.
Is that what it is?
Definitely being an adult, because we were turned on New Year's on the beach at a party, and then at a dinner party, and then we were definitely asleep by 1:30, 2 a.m. the latest, which is unheard of on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, adulting isn't as much fun.
No.
Welcome, girl. See me,
I'm
lentil soup,
bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I thought adulthood would be so much fun, girl. Like, even just transferring my mailing address with the USPS and Con Ed and Verizon and looking up furniture and seeing how expensive it is. Now I see why my mom never wanted us to sit on the goddamn couch. I'm already like, I got people coming over. I said, the couch is new. Y'all ain't sleeping on the couch. Y'all gonna get on this air mattress or build a fort, whatever one, but you're not sitting on my new couch. So like, there's like, all the things that I used to make fun of like adults, we really just grow into those adult modes. Like, I'm like, listen, New Year, Christmas, all of that. Guess what I want? A new microwave and some new cookware. I'm like, I am a fucking boring adult.
Okay, so I have a question. It's 2021.
Oh.
And seeing where you are now, in 2011, what would your 2011 self say to you now? Just looking and surveying.
First off, she wouldn't say shit because she was throwing up, rolling around on Washington right outside of Dream nightclub. That's how I entered. So I turned 21 in 2011.
Right, you did.
And so
21.
I literally, girl, I got super drunk. I went to the strip club. Can't remember which one, but it was so hood in Miami that the tables had 151. That was the bottle selection in this strip club. Jeez. So on my 21st birthday, I'm sitting here taking back Incredible Hulks and 151 shots. And when I tell you by the time I made it to South Beach, I was literally rolling on the sidewalk. I was just dead. So what I would say to myself, I'm not gonna lie.
Would say to
20, well, she would have shit to say. I'm not gonna lie. A part of me still can't believe where I'm at 30. Like waking up to the view, I had no clue that I would be in the place I am. Like I was talking to her even about the amenities that I have. New York's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And so I refer to all of the other places I've lived as trap houses. And so to be in luxury now, like I would have never guessed it ever.
Cool.
And also just from my upbringing, like none of my family is entrepreneurs or, everyone just goes to work, has their job and has been at their jobs for years. So like the path I've chosen is just so different than everything else. And it's eye-opening.
The prototype.
What about you? 2011 you.
2011 me was 25 years old with a 2-year-old.
Oh.
And in between homes. So yeah. When I say in between homes, like that's why, here we go again. Ava's dad is a good dad because when I was down and out and nowhere to live in 2011, he held it down. I was homeless in 2011.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Right. But I told you this story, riding the 2 train from Flatbush to 241st just to have somewhere to,
Wow.
chill until Starbucks opens at 5 a.m. And then you get on the laptop and you go to work.
Damn. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've had roommates this whole time as an adult, too. So this is my first time moving into an apartment by myself.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
so
that is major.
And at 30, but of course, I mean, I lived in Brickell. I lived in Atlanta early on. I lived in Atlanta when I was 18. I drove up my Hyundai Sonata 3 days after graduating high school. And so I've been on my own since I was 18. And it's a goddamn hustle figuring out how you gonna pay rent, like furnishing places. And so I lived in Miami and then New York for the last 8 years. And so here is a grind, like you said. Like I remember when I first moved here, girl, I was going to bartend all the way in Long Island and I was living in Flatbush. And I had every type of job you can think of. But yeah, like what you're saying. So I guess I want to go back to what would you say to yourself now? Like you knowing that you made it that far.
I'm proud of you. Also,
not damn bitch, I'm proud of you.
The fuck, I was homeless.
There we go. Like, no, damn bitch, I'm proud of you. She has a whole apartment. She lives by herself. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Nobody pays my rent but
her.
Me. I choose to live alone because I know I can do that now. Like, even through a damn bitch, a 2011 self would say, damn bitch, I am proud. Through a pandemic, a panorama, a penny and bra, you were able to financially be straight the whole way through without worrying about I might lose my place or anything like that. That's a big, big feat, considering the fact that I was homeless in 2011.
It's so crazy because so many of my friends have very similar stories. And of course, like now being in the era of social media, you never see people's low anymore. But like, I think that that's one thing that we revisit often is 5 years ago, 10 years ago, where we were. And we've all either been homeless, sleeping on a homegirl couch, trying to figure it the fuck out. And a lot of people just don't share those stories because it's a little bit of it is embarrassing to a lot of us.
It shouldn't be. Honestly, it shouldn't be, especially if you've overcame it in New York.
Right.
If you're able to overcome it, period. It shouldn't be something that you should be ashamed of. What I was telling myself in 2011 on those trains were, yo, this is going to be a great story to tell Oprah one day.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
And that's what kept me motivated. Like, you really gotta, and I think another thing that I kind of just reflected on this past weekend, I was really able to let, I'm getting religious now, God put my faith in him in terms of just, yo, I know you got me. I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's now that I'm learning to really take that faith in him and put it within myself. And, yo, you're always going to be good. You've finessed a school out of $24,000.
You sure did. With the pencil.
With nothing but a pencil.
Nothing but a pencil.
Like,
bitch, I keep deferring my loans.
You've been able to create not only a career out of this DJing thing, but financially secure yourself throughout a pandemic.
And doing what you love.
Doing what you love. Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about that. 10 years ago, I was packing up my apartment to move to LA, and I never lived anywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
I moved to LA January 11th, 2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
1. Yeah.
Come on, let me
One,
play
one,
a
one,
anniversary
It's
for you.
5 1
Look at that.
It's 5 1s. Yeah, it was like 1. Yeah. Yeah. I moved to LA January 11th, and I was going through a really, really awful breakup, but I was so happy to be leaving New York. I remember being so ecstatic to just like, I had only visited LA to record, and I'd only, you know what I mean? To actually feel adult enough to move out of the city that I'm from, even though it's, you know, it's the best city in the world. Don't argue with me.
But sometimes you have to leave home.
But I mean, it really, and I felt so, I felt more confident in my ability to move than I was fearful. And I think in 2021, I've entered this year with the same level of confidence and less fear of the unknown and more acceptance of the things that I can't do, any circumstances I can't change it, but also just being grateful for what's right in front of me, being grateful for what's presently here. Because when I moved to LA, I moved in with a homegirl that, you know, was a makeup artist, and she had an office, and I moved into her office.
Oh, wow.
I lived in her office when I first moved to LA. I didn't have a car. I just went with clothes, you know what I mean? And I was a signed artist at the time, but signed meant nothing then and still means nothing now in terms of how much money you actually have. Yeah. You're just signed. And I had come off of tour. I was on tour with Jay-Z, and so that felt
this
great.
This subtle flex is brought to you by. Sorry, we haven't had one of those in a minute.
I had to. FYI, while we're sitting here, I had to Google because I was like, was this the New Year's that we did Barclays Center? I was like, no, that was the next New Year's. So I was flexing in my own head. Just so you know.
And I really have to make sure that we say this because I was even talking about this with my cousin. Bridget was the first artist to be signed to Rock Nation. Mm-hmm. Like, please understand. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cole and I were signed like 2 weeks apart.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. That I didn't know. Well, I knew he was one of the first artists signed too.
Yeah, we were signed like 2 weeks apart, and then Rita Ora came after that.
What about Rihanna? When did?
So Rihanna was never on the label side of. She wasn't on the label side of things until like maybe the last 5 years.
Oh, okay.
I want to say the last 5 years she was on the label side. She was managed by them. She was managed by them for a while, but she wasn't on the label until more recently. But you know, I mean, I look back on the extent of my career and like all of it's mountains and valleys. The music industry is mountains and valleys. You're going to have really incredible peaks and really incredible memories and moments, and then you're going to have moments that are low. And I think when you're especially with social media, like you said, a lot of people don't advertise.
They don't
advertise the lows. But I also think that's because I think it has less to do with it being embarrassing and more to do with you don't want to have to engage about it all the time.
Right.
And with social media, it's like any lows that we may experience or anything that you share is inviting a conversation, right? Even a celebratory moment.
Yeah.
So by posting something about, being homeless or about struggling to pay bills, like, I mean, I got my lights cut off like 6 years ago. I had like a $1,300 like light bill that I could not pay.
Damn, Con Ed.
You know what I'm saying? LADWP. But same shit. Yo, they're worse. They're petty. No, they're petty. Like the mayor of LA was turning people's lights off during COVID who were not adhering to the rules. He was like, "Oh, y'all want to play? We're not even calling the cops on y'all. Unplug their whole shit. Shut them down, literally." No, I mean the reason we don't share it too is because we don't want to relive it every time somebody brings it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I remember here we go, another subtle flex. I remember being on tour with Mary J. Blige. I opened up for her on the Liberation Tour, and I remember asking her, like, yo, she's like, how do you feel after every show? Like, do you feel exhausted having to relive all these moments and these emotions from
in the songs.
Dark and trying time? And they are songs that have literally saved women's lives. Like, they have saved women's lives. And my Life album has saved women's lives, period. So, I mean, other albums, of course, too. But I think that one in particular really has shaped a generation of women that really were trying really hard to love themselves for who they were, no matter where they came from, no matter what relationship situation they might have survived and gotten out of. And she just said, it's hard. Sometimes it's like picking a scab. Sometimes, there's some songs she may never perform that are too painful. And I think that there are artists that don't do that. So I think the same thing applies when, you have a following of people that are looking to relate and looking to connect, but it also is going to require you to have to keep having the conversation. And I wouldn't share all the stuff all the lows, because when you share all the lows, it's like, number one, people ridicule you for them.
They sure do.
They think that you're complaining. You have so much to be grateful for. And it's like, don't all lives matter me. That's what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? It's like someone shares something about a trial or tribulation that they're going through, and someone tries to one up you on your issue and try to remind you that you're blessed. And it's like, well, yeah, I get it. I feel you. It's like, yeah, all my limbs and appendages work. All my senses work. I can hear. I can speak. I can see. But it doesn't make me any less depressed in a moment. It doesn't make me any more. It doesn't make me any better than someone who may have a different disadvantage. I think if nothing else, 2021 is going to be for me the year of allowance and acceptance of the things that I'm presently existing in, and nothing else matters. Nothing else is going to weigh more than that moment, than the moment that we're in.
Amen. So what would you say to your 2021 self?
I mean, 10 years ago, I never thought I was going to move back to New York. I was like, leaving New York forever. Love y'all. Getting the fuck out of here. See you later. Because in my mind, I was like, no, I'm going to live in the Hollywood Hills. I'm going to have a caftan on. I'm going to be sipping wine, parading around my hydrangea garden with a glass of red wine.
With the infinity pool.
With the infinity pool. The wind chimes.
Signature.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was it. That was what I was envisioning 10 years ago. Did not think that I was going to be back in New York 10 years later, 10 pounds heavier with Jordans on. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting that, but here we are. I love it. I'm grateful. But I do think that
10 pounds went to that ass.
It sure did.
That ass did nice.
It did. Thank you. sorry, Bridget. No, I think, everybody always says God, you make plans and God laughs at God just laughs at you.
He sure do.
He chuckles at you like, ha, gotcha, bitch. You know what I mean? And I believe that. I think that's really a thing. Whatever you can planning for the future. It's like the future is now.
I'm not gonna lie. A part of 2020, I was spending money before it even came in. I was like, "Ooh, this gonna be my best." Like I had all these plans
the first 2 months.
Oh,
huh?
bitch!
That was me.
Literally after the first
January,
quarter, I was like, "Oh, this is
February,
lit."
I was like, hey.
And then it all came crashing down. And I'm not gonna lie, as a control freak, and we've talked about like just how my personality is, I was like, in order to not reach a level of depression or a heightened level of anxiety in 2021, I decided as far as my goals, I was literally only going to focus on the things that I can control. Outside of that, if it happens, it happens. Yeah. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Great. But there's just so many things that are out of our control to where I'm just like, let me not have high expectations of any of these things, because of course expectations leads to disappointment. And when I can't do what I want to do, anxiety, depression, all of that kicks in. So I just want to be more in control.
I'm telling you to meditate, sis.
I know. I got the meditation book from you. I'm finna meditate this year. And I got a yoga studio, bitch.
You could try.
Namaste in my ass.
You know what's a good one to try? Deepak Chopra has a 21-day abundance meditation. It's a guided meditation.
I've done it
for 21 days. And it's literally every day. It's like 12 to 15 minutes at a time. Like it's literally just once a day for 21 days. It's fire. I'm telling you, it's a worthwhile. And there's journal. There's like you can do some journal entries and things like that. Whatever you feel compelled to do in the midst of it. But it's a great practice. Like it just really.
I'm gonna do that.
It centers you. It centers you for your day. You know what I'm saying? Especially when there's things going on, there's an abundance of things going on that you cannot control and navigate through off rip. This is an incredible way to just like, focus on what needs to happen.
And the beauty of it is you don't, even if it's like
Did you see how she just repositioned herself?
I see.
I just need y'all to know who are listening.
Legs crossed.
Liv just decided to get into a meditative pose. She's in a meditation position right now.
I love it. I love it. And the beauty of it is you don't have to commit to the 10 minutes or 12 minutes. If you start off and all you can do is 4,
right.
All right, cool. Like we'll try it again a little bit later. It's a practice thing. So you don't really have to commit fully 100%, because that's when the anxiety and the beating yourself up. Oh, I didn't do it. Like I'm not doing it right. Blah, 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 blah. Like it's a practice. You have to be patient with yourself, and it teaches you patience.
Oh, girl, I ain't patient for shit.
You're not, but here's the thing. This guided one, you're not.
Both of y'all
You're not.
Well,
You're fucking
right.
not. You have a strong 35 seconds, 35 to 40 seconds before it's like,
Throw baby.
like, okay, why are we here?
Not
still?
throat baby, man.
Like the girl in the video where she's meditating, and then
that is one of the worst.
Baby.
Yeah, and that's one of the worst songs.
I hate that song.
That song is so bad.
No, what's crazy is no one we didn't realize it was a real song, and then it came on in the taxi. We were in Tulum, and it came on in the taxi cab, and I was like, wait, this is a full.
Wait, you didn't know it was a song?
I knew it was. I thought it was like an interlude, like a snippet.
No, it's a real song.
I thought it was something that somebody did on TikTok.
Like people was even asking why we ain't put it in our Freshly Squeezed, and I said that song is bad.
I love the way you gag. I love the way you choke. Throw baby.
Look at Bridget. You're not here for it. No. You don't like the lyrics?
No,
they don't. No.
Maybe it's because I don't like to throw up, and everything that he mentions makes it seem like you want me to throw up. You don't want me to throw up on your dick, so you don't want.
But a lot of guys, I think, do want that.
That's gross.
Yes, give me the lyrics.
Gross. Can we want acid reflux on your dick?
They do.
I'm gonna ask. No, I don't believe that.
Sexy little hoe. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk.
Okay. Let a young nigga come play in your throat. Come on.
Deep stroke, throat.
Not deep stroke your throat.
Throw babies.
I told y'all my nigga tried to do that and I lost my whole voice and he got nervous. He was fucking my face, and when we got done having our experience together. Well, I was like, babe, I can't talk. Like, he literally fucked my vocal cords up, bitch. And he was like, oh, babe, when you gotta go back to the studio, he was really nervous. I said, we can't do that anymore. Like, this is how I make a living. And I literally couldn't talk. I was drinking tea after fucking. What type of session is that?
That sounds great.
That sounds like meditation, actually.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
A nice warm pot of tea after an orgasm sounds like meditation.
With the honey and lemon. Yes, all of that.
Yeah, no, I would sue somebody.
I'm not gonna lie.
I would sue you. No, I would sue you. I would sue you. My throat, my voice does not work.
Well, it wasn't throat baby. It was throat coat. That's what a bitch ended up drinking after.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an awful song, guys.
Terrible.
Yeah. I guess what y'all got going on over the last week? Anything that came to mind for y'all?
I mean, I'm looking forward to moving too. I'm
that is
excited.
right.
It's happening. It's happening next month, but it's like I'm already looking at places.
It's a process.
And that's stressful, like you said. I'm a little bit stressed out about it. But also I'm waiting to see what happens with this Senate situation in Georgia because I would love if we could flip the Senate because Mitch McConnell does not care about any people.
And you know what? Since y'all outside I need y'all to be outside to vote.
Please.
Well, I think voting already. Well, voting. The deadline to register was the 15th, I think, but they're all voting now, right?
I believe it's this week. So let's find. Yeah, or election day is tomorrow.
January 5th.
Last weekend to get everybody out to vote in Georgia. So
let's go ahead. I mean, they flipped the state blue with the votes, so hopefully they could do the Senate as well.
Yeah, and then
it's today.
It's today the 5th.
Yeah, today's the 5th.
Oh yeah, today's the 5th. I'm dumb.
Today, get out and vote.
Come on, Georgia.
This is the Georgia runoff, so please vote. Please vote.
Look, what this is voting
Let's flip
music.
this shit. Let's flip these votes, Georgia.
No.
Hey!
Yes.
Amen.
Look, I'm Elmo.
Come on.
Flip.
I'm
flip.
so.
Bitch, flip.
You really. That's what we need to do in Georgia, y'all. Let's go. Let go. Only you would really like.
We needed that.
You can't
we
quit
needed that.
with it too.
We needed that. Yeah. So that's been. I mean, obviously that's been in the news rotation this last week. But yeah, we were something funny. Oddly enough, we were talking with Ian earlier about how attached to our phones we were. Oh. Is that triggered?
No, I am triggered.
You're triggered.
This past
I was like,
weekend,
shit, what happened?
Coming to a realization, there's so many things that I've put off or procrastinated on because I've spent so much time on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I realized being in Mexico and not having good service that I couldn't me looking and checking the timeline for shit was I couldn't do it because some places the phone would work and then some places it wouldn't. So it was just like, rather than give myself anxiety of like, I can't see what's happening. I'm like, fuck it, doesn't work. And then I just go about my day, go about my business and really
That's
enjoy.
why I gave you that book.
Enjoy floundering. Is that the word? Floundering?
Floundering. I think it's floundering. Yeah. But pretty much, okay, so I gifted Bridget a book.
It is. Floundering.
For the Christmas holiday.
I think so.
And it's pretty much about floundering. I think it's called floundering.
I'm going to look it up.
But it's a French term about people who wander.
Yes.
So it's a book about wandering with intent.
Yes.
So when you wander with intent, you're looking to, all right, I'm not going to be strategic with where I'm going today, but when I do it, I'm going to be present and really take heed and look around my surroundings and take it in and learn something and grow from it. And you do that every single time you venture somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Just being intentional with your travels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that.
We gotta look up the word.
I'm trying to find it.
She's trying to find it. Scream Man trying to find it. We can't find it. We can't find it.
It's flandering.
Is it flandering maybe?
I don't know.
Damn.
We'll figure it out.
We'll find it.
We'll figure it out. Well, if we're going to talk about, I guess, journeying with a purpose, not to be a shout out, but I did kind of want to mention Teyana Taylor.
Yes.
Teyana Taylor recently.
I just want to clap it up. In real time for my girl.
I mean, we talked about her a couple weeks ago, and she talked about leaving the music industry and kind of how she's felt in that industry. And something that was beautiful, she announced it. I do want to read. Basically, she's opening up her own compound, a creative compound, which is amazing. She said that she's a firm believer if your goals and dreams don't scare you, then they aren't big enough. I stepped out on faith and let God do what God does. Last night was not only a celebration. Yeah, you did say that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. God be Goddin'.
She talked about closing certain chapters in 2020 and blessed with the book of opportunity, entering her dirty 30 with her husband, gifting her a new camera. She also started her own compound. So shout out, it's the Aunties Inc. is her co-founder. And they have a 5-acre lot.
Aunties Inc. is the name of the company.
Company.
Co-founder is
Coco Gilbert.
Shout out to
Coco.
Courtney.
Yes. And they just opened a 5-acre lot that includes production, dance, recording, prop studios, equipment, and a 360 green room for creatives. And I just thought that was amazing because
I think it's beautiful.
This is definitely the era where I think we are all building our own generational wealth, our own platforms. We're just owning things now. And I love to see it. I know Tyler Perry owns his whole studio in Atlanta now. To see she owns that. Something else we were talking about off air was Baron Davis and Master P looking to own looking to buy Reebok. I love it. I love all of this Black excellence that is, and a lot of companies too, just really flourishing and starting in what was such a cruel year of 2020.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that a lot of us had time to kind of sit back, sit down, and just think. I mean, that was a part of me starting my own business in 2020. Literally had the idea in May and was able to launch in October. I'm dropping my new box now, but learning Shopify, getting into e-commerce, it's a whole thing. But again, I think this panorama allowed us to just sit our asses down and, kind of learn and grow and see who we are and what makes us happy. And clearly music wasn't making her happy, but I love to see that she has this new compound.
The industry.
Because music probably still is her passion.
I mean, creating music makes anybody happy that loves it and is good at it. To be honest, it is the industry that makes you want to. I mean, listen. Part of my reason for pivoting was because the industry was just trash. The industry just wasn't. It's not lucrative for the creative. It's just not. It's not. And so you have to be creative in this capacity in order to have any level of success. So I mean, I applaud Teyana Taylor for not even just taking a leap of faith, but also acknowledging the fact that you can be really great at a lot of things. You don't have to stick to just one lane and just one thing just because that's the only thing that you love. It's like you can love other things. What's fulfilling as a creative is being able to, number one, create things that you're proud of. So that could be music, that could be a video or a short film for her, a dance routine. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything like that. Or it could just be providing an opportunity and a space for other people
to do the same.
And that's what she's doing with this, which I think is really, really powerful.
I just really love ownership. And I wanted to ask you guys, because reading this and what I have going through, it really made me think. I got these tattoos on my hand as a fuck corporate, I'll never go back. And a part of ownership to me was never feeling like I had to go through a fucking interview again. That is probably my least favorite part about getting a job, is the interview. Because I feel like when you go into an interview, you're putting your best foot forward just for someone to say you're underqualified, overqualified. Oh, we went with someone else. And I just think that the interview process when I was going through my various jobs or having to find a new job, it was also probably the most damning to my ego and my confidence, and to know that I felt like I'm qualified if I'm coming for the job, and the fact that one person can dictate whether or not I'm going to be able to pay my bills the next month.
Right.
And so I love now just being an entrepreneur, seeing other people, making money for themselves. I just really, really hate corporate America. And I don't ever want to go back.
It happens in corporate America. It also happens in the entertainment industry.
When I
started, I grew up professional dancing, ballet, tap, jazz.
We know you do everything, sis. We know.
I'm a Teyana.
This subtle flex is.
But no, I say that to say.
This subtle flex has been brought to you
I don't
by.
got a subtle flex. I do it all, motherfuckers.
It's not subtle.
It's not subtle.
This loud ass motherfucking flex has been brought to you by.
Fucking flex has been brought to you by Olivia Dope, because she does all that shit.
Yeah.
No, but when I started growing up, I always wanted to be a professional dancer. You was not going to tell me I wasn't going to dance professionally for Janet and Michael. Once I turned
for the stars.
For real.
I know that's right.
I'm nice.
Look.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You was probably watching In Living Color get these bitches out of here.
Get J-Lo out.
Get J-Lo. Get these bitches out of here.
The fuck? Nah, but I was like, Janet, Michael, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm going to climb and do other things with other artists, but Janet and Michael, that's the end goal. So when I started auditioning, I didn't even want to go to college. I told my parents the day before orientation at Hofstra, I had a Denise Huxtable moment. I don't want to go. I'd rather y'all save y'all money and let me go take dance classes at Broadway Dance Center and let me be a dancer. They were like, oh, give it 2 years. And that's what Hofstra did, gave me 2 years.
They gave you 2 years.
Like, get the fuck out. But once I was like, okay, fine, I'm out of Hofstra now. I'm going to pursue this professionally. I realized that I could be as nice as I want to. Mm-hmm. But if I'm not the stereotypical look that they're looking for, or I'm not the look, literally go on auditions, all the girls line up.
Yeah.
Before you even dance. All right, you and you. Everyone else, have a good night.
What?
That's what the industry, I don't know if it still is, but a lot of the time.
Well, dance was always the scariest, in my mind, the scariest performing art, because there's a show on Netflix called Pretty Tiny Things or Pretty
Little Things.
I started watching it.
Yeah, so
it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's chaos.
Is it?
It's teenage. It's a teenage drama show, and I love teenage drama shows.
It's a very competitive field to get into dance, professional dancing.
Tiny Pretty Things is the name of it.
It's very
Tiny
competitive.
Pretty Things. But I mean, for dancers, it's very competitive. Most of the time, they are literally looking for perfection all the time. And I went to LaGuardia, which is a performing arts high school, and I remember the dancers being. They had their own 2 floors in the building, right? There was like 3,000, 4,000 kids in this school, and they had the top 2 floors in the building, and almost no one ever went there unless you were a dancer, because it was their studios. You couldn't wear shoes in some of the studios. The locker rooms were for them only. They didn't have gym classes or gym requirements at all. Yeah, it was very competitive, and I remember them having no time for extracurricular activities if that was really what you were trying to do with your life. There was no time. You had no life.
You sleep it.
No life.
You know
all
what
your
this
friends
also
are
makes
dancers.
me think of? How much, and I know we have a lot of male listeners, but for the women listening, how much there's so many different industries and jobs where our looks are literally what gets us hired or fired, or whether we even get in the door. I was a bartender for 7 years. Oh, baby. On South Beach, here in New York, you had to look a certain way. And I remember even color. Like, there was a lot of bars where they weren't hiring Black bartenders. I actually got let go. I won't say the name of the hotel chain, but a whole bunch of French people came in, took over management, and right before my 90 days, I was told I didn't fit the look of the bar that they were going for, because they wanted a more European style look.
I mean, that
happens a lot.
And I think just though, outside of dating, and I know the pressures of what we get to look a certain way,
right?
How much, even our jobs and what we're able to do is so determined on our looks.
The reason why I started DJing is because I quit dance, and I was like, I want to be in control of. I want to be in control of what I do. Mm-hmm. You're not going to tell me I'm not being hired based on the fact that I don't look like what you want me to look like. Yeah. You're hiring me solely off of my talent.
What are your thoughts on these new Instagram girl DJs that are now in the DJ field, but...
Live your life, honey.
Okay.
Do you. I mean, we're now in a space, and even in the dance world, it's not as rigorous and as picky as it was back then, when hip-hop videos always wanted the exotic look. You can look... Anyway, I feel like it's a little bit more based on your actual talent and who you know. I mean,
it's all about
but also
a given.
With DJing, it was never superficial from the beginning.
Right.
So I think that from that regard, because I know a few female DJs, women, like really incredible women who are DJs who have discographies and music knowledge beyond a lot of male DJs, a lot of male DJs that I know. But I think now especially now with all of the virtual parties and things like that, and the virtual DJ sessions, it's a lot easier to separate the real DJs from the bullshit ass spacebar DJs who just, you know what I'm saying? They don't
come on, spacebar DJ.
No, I mean, and it's true. I mean, I know I've watched it happen. I've been to events where I'm like, you did not put this mix together, bitch. You have no idea the transitions, the BPM matches, but the vibe doesn't. So I know you didn't really give that a lot of thought. You know what I'm saying? The transitions are the giveaway.
From Bob Marley to Britney Spears.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you didn't listen to this all the way through. Like, you don't understand. You didn't master this, right?
Right.
But I mean, even as a singer, as a performer, that's happened to me. I mean, that's happened to me with records that before I got into my songwriting bag and we had writers come in and work with me, I had writers take the records back that I would cut because they wanted it to be for a bigger record. Frank Ocean's Thinking About Forever was written for me in my session. That came out of my budget. I recorded the record. He wanted the song to go to a bigger artist. He was like, nah, this is too big for her. She's a new artist. This song isn't gonna have the life force and the lifespan that it should with a new artist. It should go to Rihanna or Beyonce. It needs to go to a bigger artist. It's too big a record for her. Mind you, this was like one of the first sessions we had that was like, oh my God, this is it. This is what we want to do. My producer, Shay Taylor at the time. Shay Taylor's one of the greatest producers. He did 9-10 songs on the 4 album, Love on Top, all that. All the great Beyonce records on the 4 album Shay Taylor has done. And so amongst others, I mean, he's done a number of other things as well, but that to me is always like paramount because if all the like music nerds that I know that I went to school with and that I came up with love the 4 album because of its musical composition. It just the presentation musically on 4 was Beyonce's one of her greatest works.
Facts on facts.
But we did that record and it was like everybody at the label loved it. Everybody was like, yo, this is it. As soon as Frank wanted to give it to somebody else, of course, the record tries to strong arm it and is like, nah, it's cool. We'll pay whatever. This is her record. And he went and he released it himself. He released his demo. And he was already on his Nostalgia Ultra wave. So it was out of here.
I'm not going to lie. When you told me that story, I was just like, yeah, holy shit. Oh, yeah. Because that is like definitely one of my favorite songs of his, but that was the title of your debut album. Yeah. You had already recorded it and it was supposed to be yours.
I recorded it twice. I recorded it the first time and he was like, can we get somebody in here to vocal produce it to make it sound more like mine? And so we brought James Fauntleroy in to vocal produce it so it could sound more like his, which I thought was hilarious because I always thought that Frank Ocean was trying to be very much like James Fauntleroy, but that's another conversation for another day. But either way, recorded it again, and then he still just decided to release his own. So, you know, being in the car for that conversation with my A&R and Frank saying this is too big a record for this new artist, she's not going to be able to pull this off, is heartbreaking. It's earth shattering when you're in your early 20s or whatever, and you are literally amongst all of these incredible professional people that you respect, that you're just happy to be there. I was just happy to be there.
And
you know
giving
what I'm
your all, I feel like
100.
all, especially R&B and hip hop artists
100.
really give their all for that first album.
Yeah.
Is that like, do a lot of people know about that backstory?
I did it. I talked about it in like 2 interviews, I think. And then I didn't want to keep harping on it because I felt like I sounded bitter, and I really didn't. I was more hurt that there was no. I took it personally at the time,
and it's out there, right? People can stream.
Oh yeah,
y'all
yeah.
Thinking about you, Bridget Kelly. Go ahead and check that out.
It's somewhere on the internet. But either way, I mean, I stopped fighting for that record too because I realized that it was going to be a losing battle because his version took so much. It got so much traction, right? So and it's a hit record. Everybody knew it was a hit record. Mm-hmm. I was more concerned at that time too about making sure Shay got his just due because he produced the record,
right?
So I didn't want to hold up that process, but I also didn't want to be bitter. I didn't want to be the bitter artist that didn't write the song and now she's upset because she didn't have it, and it was like. To me, I took it personally because I was 22, 23 years old. You take everything personally at 23 years old, especially when you are showing up and being respectful and being as professional as you can be. I was paying $300 an hour for vocal lessons, trying to make sure that I was ready and prepared to be. You know what I mean? It's terribly distressing to be in a situation where you know in your heart that you're qualified for the moment. You know what I'm saying? That you're prepared for the moment. You went to college, you studied what you needed to study.
I'm telling you, that's what needed to do. That's what I'm saying.
And one person made a decision that shifted your whole other shit. And that's what happened with me with this situation. When that situation happened, that took the wind out of everybody's sails. At the label, on my team, that broke everybody's hearts because it was like, man, this could have been the moment. You know what I mean?
Well, I enjoy this one a lot more.
And then there was this moment. And this moment was my moment.
Hey.
And it was great.
Yes.
We can vibe out for a little bit.
Yeah. We giving it to y'all.
And this is special delivery for the YouTubers who are not able to hear it.
And see, but that's what I'm saying.
Everything happens for a reason.
It does.
Everything happens for a reason.
And this is you on the pen.
No, this was Cristal on the pen.
Really?
Yeah, this is Cristal who wrote this. Yep.
Oh.
I will just say, but what you're saying is like so true. Like you put everything. You said you were spending $300 for voice lessons, and you did everything that needed to put you in the position that you were ready, and then one person took that away.
Yeah.
And I feel like even for those of us who worked in corporate or went through that ladder, like I remember just coming in as a minority woman into accounting and finance. I was like, okay, I'm not at a top tier school, so I made sure I studied abroad in Singapore. I made sure that I went and got the top internships because I knew I was going up against a lot. And yeah, I had just as many no's as I did finally yeses. But yeah, it's just, I will tell you, like, even with that experience in again, 2 different industries, the interview process is probably the one thing that I want to steer far away from ever again. Like, I want to be able to hire and fire who I want.
Yeah.
I never want someone to tell me, you're great, but no. I don't want to hear no more no's from people. Maybe from investors, sure. But someone to tell me, no, I don't want, like, this position is not for you. Nope. You can have that. Never want to do that again.
American Apparel told me that once, and I was like, y'all gotta suck a dick.
You told American Apparel that? Well, good. And you know what? It came back to them. That's why they filed for bankruptcy. Karma came right back around on that.
And American Apparel was sucking dick. They were sucking everything, actually. They were doing it for everybody, everywhere. There was a lot of lawsuits. I was a manager at American Apparel store. Oh yeah.
Look at that.
All the many phases. I mean, I didn't end up on the wall in my panties, so I feel like I did all right. I think I won. The thing I will say though that I think most people and I think our listeners should consider too, because I think entrepreneurship is incredibly rewarding and fulfilling if it works for you. I think the main takeaway though should be that you are not your job.
Yes.
You are not your job. So regardless of,
come on, Soul Movie,
because it's not. You're not. There it is. If you have not watched the Soul Movie on Disney Plus, please get your life together.
Okay,
and
I'm gonna
watch
get it
that
together,
ASAP.
y'all. I'm gonna get it together
Because and shout out to Disney and Pixar for always coming through with the
life
deep
lessons,
adult life lessons that are like cutting to the chest, cutting through your chest. You know what I mean? This was one of those moments. The Soul film is about identifying your purpose and how your purpose and your blessing oftentimes has very little to do with you and who you are as a person, right? We always talk about, know yourself, know your worth, know your value, know your price point. And it's like, knowing all of that is cool, but if the application of all those things falls short because it's being thrust into a situation that's not for you, you're going to internalize that and think that it means that you're not good enough. There's no way around that, especially if you're working as hard as you are. You know what I mean?
Also, and again, before we get into our freshly squeezed, take your motherfucking paid time off.
Please.
Use your sick days. Don't miss out. Like, it's funny. I was just having this conversation with my boyfriend, and I look back at the times where I just thought I had to be in class or I had to show up to work and I had to give so much of myself to these institutions and companies that could care less about my fucking happiness. And I used to do that. When I was an accountant, I was giving them 70, 80 hours a week during busy season. I was a tax accountant. And
70, 80 hours a week.
Girl, on salary.
Bro.
Where like, so it was, they gave me dinner on the nights I had to stay in the office past 9 p.m. But I look back and I'm like, damn, there were so many missed opportunities to be with friends and to live life and just have fun because I wanted to give my all to these companies and corporations who at the end of the day don't give a goddamn rat's ass about you.
I learned that lesson a long time ago when I was in high school and I was trying to like make a little extra money for my prom. I applied at Jimmy Jazz and they hired me. And then they wanted me to come in the next day, and I just showed up when I feel like it. He was like, "You're supposed to show up at 9 a.m. It's a Saturday." I'm like, "Wait a minute, you want me to spend all of my downtime outside of school at your place of employment?" Oh, I quit.
Wait, are you serious?
This is not for me.
I've always been lazy in terms of like working for somebody else.
Working for someone else.
I've always been lazy.
Yeah.
I'm a very much work smart person. I don't want to.
Smarter,
I never want to work
harder.
hard.
Smarter, not
that's
harder.
right.
I agree with that, but I don't want us to discourage people that because entrepreneurship is really not for everyone.
It's not for everybody.
It ain't.
Really not, and it's not to smite anybody or insult anybody that's not an entrepreneur, but it's not for the faint of heart, and it's not for the people that can't separate their job from who they are and what their value is in life from their work, from their career. Because I felt that way on Love and Hip Hop. I was like, I could show up and do this, and this is cool. But then I'm gonna go home, and I'm not gonna talk to y'all. We're not gonna go to this stupid ass restaurant with this bad lighting for drinks in real life. We're not doing that. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit that's going on. None of this matters to me, and none of this makes me who I am. I'm not so invested in this job that I can't. No, that I have to base my work. No. Make the separation. That's how you will flourish and thrive. Is separating yourself from your job, which, like you said, take your paid time off. You know what I mean? Prioritize your mental and emotional well-being over that job, even if you're not an entrepreneur.
Your 401k and make
Facts.
sure that you are utilizing it to the best of your advantage to take care of yourself and your family.
Can I
Rainy
also
day as well as vacation time.
You also just brought that up, and if you are an entrepreneur, handle them taxes and get your life in order. Like again, super adult. I just started my 401k as a entrepreneur, but
That's fire.
Yeah,
Congrats.
I'm excited, girl. Got my payroll set up, like got my life insurance, like handling all the adult things to make sure that I can be well off when I'm ready to retire. But I've been talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, and they don't even have themselves as a business, or they're not paying the taxes that they should be, or they're, and I just think that you guys need to make sure that if you're gonna go that route, if one thing is for certain, them taxes will come and haunt your ass.
Yeah.
So definitely just take care of that.
Overstand. You will overpay if you don't handle it on time.
I like that y'all doing it.
You know what I mean? Because you be doing it. You be doing
I do
it.
it for you.
Sometimes I need a little black break,
Hey.
Oh man. Anything for you, Liv. Anything for you.
Always.
Thank you.
But I would like us to get into our very first freshly squeezed playlist
2121.
of 2021. Brought to you by Audio Mac.
Yeah, you guys have to apparently record that. They want it as like a drop. We gotta get our drops, Liv.
That's fantastic. That's a separate fee. But
Facts.
We got to do a lot of things in life.
we
but
charge for the singing vocals. We'll talk about y'all all day long, but when it comes to notes and harmonies and things of that nature, Liv and I are not cheap.
And I'm glad that you said just you and Liv, because yes, I'm just the ad-lib queen over here. I won't be joining y'all in harmony moving forward. Nope. Scooby-Doo will stay over here in her stool. All right, ain't nobody tell you to do it again, Liv.
Sorry. Oh, man. I'm really, really sore, guys.
Why are you sore?
I worked out this morning for the first time.
Look at
Come
you.
on.
Yes.
And I'm going to get in the gym this year, too, because now I have a gym in my building. So
Well,
there's
I
no
mean,
excuses
there's
now.
no
excuses.
On Fridays, you can start working out with Brit and I if you want to.
Say less.
I'll come. I mean,
I'll be there.
We can
Look
come
at
to your
your
gym
neighbors.
too. But I go
I
to
know,
her.
right?
Yeah, my best friend lives literally across the street from her. So I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, we go across the street, or we can. Her gym has like the 360 view of the city,
Oh,
which
wow.
is fire. So. Yeah, it's got the Pelotons.
We
got
do.
all
We
that.
got to make our little workout playlist so we can get up in
Yes,
the.
we
We
do.
maybe we'll make one of those for y'all too.
Yeah.
On our Audio Mac playlist. Did y'all even? I know we do new music.
We took some breaks this week from new music and from life, but I mean, I feel like this time off was a good opportunity to like go backwards a little bit and find music that might have come out. I mean, in December, November, whatever, that's close, and we can still talk about it. I feel
agree.
like that's still new, right? It's still fresh.
And I don't think that many artists drop that last week.
It's hard to drop the last week of the year.
Of the year.
really hard.
Absolutely.
Between Christmas and New Year's, no
Insane
one is
to do
looking for
so.
new music.
Yeah.
No.
So, what do you got, Bridget?
So Mayor Hawthorne, he's like a bluesy, soulful kind of guy from Michigan. He dropped a record.
You stay putting us on to some shit.
He's well, it's, you know what it is. I try not to venture too far from my bag. You know what I'm saying? R&B, soul music is really my bag. Like that's really what I'm into. And this is Mayor Hawthorne is a little funky too. He plays guitar. He'll have some Rhodes. He'll have like some Rhodes editions in there. For those of you who don't know what a Rhodes is, listen to Stevie Wonder and thank me later, or Google it if you need to. It's basically it's a piano instrument that you would love if you heard it. But so he put out a project called Rare Changes. And it came out December 18th, I think was what the date that the album dropped. But Over is the song that I really love. You have the aux cord.
Look, we saving you today, Liv. We could play our song.
You see this? I didn't want you to have to reach too far. I know you sore. We gonna get Liv.
It's a workout sore now.
Which is the best sore, but I still don't want you to overexert.
Almost
don't
fully
get crazy.
healed. It's been 5 weeks in surgery, so I linked up with my homegirl who's also my personal trainer. Shout out to Body by Neeks.
Yeah,
on Instagram, NEEKS. She is phenomenal, and I say that because not only she motivates you, but her body is goals.
Oh.
So, yeah, we worked out this morning.
I love it.
And at 6 a.m., our workout.
And you're already sore from this morning? She did a number on you then.
I'm sore too.
She did
but from christening my apartment. Now that's a workout, baby. I christened that goddamn apartment. Hands right up on the glass, baby.
So, my pick for the week.
Sorry, y'all.
So Mayor Hawthorne has a song called Over, and this is I really like this a lot because it's funky, it's kind of cool, and I feel like, you know, with the weather being like weird wintry ish and Christmas being over, it's just a good like kind of in the crib chilling out kind of record. So let me see if I can get it to play. Oh, now we don't want to play. Come on now, we don't have time for this.
Play. What I will say is this. Mayor Hawthorne looks like you'd have the greatest discussion about music with him.
Yes.
A whole music nerd. Mm-hmm. And he also looks like a villain from... he looks like...
He's a white guy. He looks like a villain. It doesn't matter.
He looks like a DC comic villain.
It's 2021. In 2020, if you look like a white guy, you were a villain. Unless you're Parks.
No,
in which case,
but like,
you're not a villain.
He looks like a DC comic villain. Like, you know what? He was bullied or something, and like somebody took him over the edge, and now he created this crazy gadget that like mass murders everyone.
And he has on Ray-Ban Wayfarers, so it just kind of fits. You know what I'm saying? He's on brand. He's definitely on brand.
Very on brand with DC.
Let me say, it's giving me, I don't know why it's giving me a hard time right now. We gonna get it right though. We gonna get it right because this song is a vibe.
This video is vibe. I'm watching it right now.
Yeah,
it's very DC, Gotham City.
Well, he's from Ann Arbor, Michigan, which is close to Detroit. Not quite Detroit, but close enough that he was inspired and influenced. You can tell.
Wait, real quick. Shout out to men from Michigan.
Okay.
They just be the most swaggiest tricks ever. My God, I love me a good Michigan man. That's all.
Does it matter like what part? Is it mainly Detroit or?
I think so. Michigan, bitch. They just be really
like Michigan
lovely
J
men.
Frog. Hello, my baby.
There we go. Look, she said we gonna play this blues, baby.
This is Over. Okay, this is called Over.
I feel like I have the hair for this song right now.
You do. It's giving sexy Farrah Fawcett vibe.
This is Sunday cleaning music, honey. I want a broom in my hand.
You know. Yeah, this is the type of shit I like to listen to. It's a good driving vibe. It's a good cleaning vibe. It's a good cooking vibe.
Come on, Liv. Come on.
She's not sore. That's not how you move when you sore.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So Mayor Hawthorne. The album is called Rare Changes. This song is called Over.
A bop.
But it's a sexy little bop.
A whole bop.
The video for this song actually reminds me of The Box. And not the box that you're thinking of, Mandii. Not the subscription
Because that's
box.
all I've been singing still.
On Christie Street.
Right.
Yes.
It's on the Lower East Side, the box.
I really wish I was able to experience that pre-COVID.
Yeah.
But I know like they did so many good shows and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I missed out on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my vibe for the week because I need to
love
get
it.
back into a level of comfort. I need to get back into just, not listening to covers of Selena songs like I was in Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
They
on the
played Selena, but they
floor.
also played like cover songs of Selena, and I was like, "This is mad disrespectful. This is disrespectful. Y'all ain't even got to do that. Just play something else that's in Spanish. No one's really paying that much attention anyway. It was either that or Dua Lipa. Everybody was playing Dua Lipa in the club.
Jesus.
But you know who got a lot of play in the club, which I was
Who?
happy about? St. John.
He's just so good.
That Roses remix.
That Roses
is
remix.
outta here.
Yeah, it really is.
Every day party, every restaurant,
really is.
every club, lounge. You walk down the street in Tulum. It's a dirt road, and there's bicycles and Vespas, and then you hear
St. John.
yeah. No one knows the words, and I don't know the words. Here's the thing: I hate singing songs when I don't know the words because I'll just make some shit up.
Oh, y'all know I make words up to
yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah,
I sure do.
You definitely do. It's bad. It's bad.
It's so bad.
I mean, I'm like scatting, but you just make up words that are not there at all.
Listen,
I don't even try to say words. I just scat. But I looked around when this song came on, when Roses the remix came on. I was like, maybe somebody in here knows the words. Nope.
Nobody.
Everybody was doing the same shit I was doing. And
I
you're
feel like I would vibe out to that remix.
it was great.
Okay,
great.
look, I'm trying to look at the words. Do you have R&B?
There's nothing playing like for real,
No,
for real right
there's
now,
not.
but I'm bopping my head because I can hear that remix. I can hear it.
St. John, if you ever need background singers that will not be recognizable by Shazam, we are the ones.
Corazón.
No, it was great. It was great.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good week. It was a good week musically because St. John's records were playing everywhere, and we were all screaming every time they came on because we're like, yes,
We know this
song. Because everything else was, it's Vegas. It's sparklers. It's 4 on the floor.
All of that.
Yeah, we didn't know. I didn't know any of the shit. And somebody was like, "Do you know who sings this?" I was like, "This song. I know Dua Lipa's voice, but I can't tell you the song. I don't know. It's a lot. But yeah, what you got? What you got, Manny?
Oh, I wanted to know, Liv, do you have R&B?
No,
You have
hip-hop.
okay.
I have
So
50
I have.
Cent.
Oh, that is right. 50 Cent's
They
song.
say this is a big rich town.
Hey,
Shout out to Power Ghost Show.
Power Ghost.
Power Ghost.
What is that shit called? What is it
Power
called?
Book.
Book 2.
Ghost Gone.
It's somebody booked. Somebody booked.
Ghost Dad.
Well, do you want to start
Spooky,
this?
spooky,
Let's.
spooky
I mean, we
book
could
too.
start it with 50 because people actually know 50. I have actually 2 artists that maybe many people don't know. I actually have 2 songs now.
That's terrific.
Yeah, but I mean, we can
I'm
play.
glad you have some shit that we don't know.
I know, but I do. I
Apart
do.
from Pastor Troy that I didn't know.
You didn't know.
I didn't know
PT,
Pastor Troy.
baby.
Sorry,
But it's okay.
guys.
I'm gonna put you on the PT, baby. Well, I already did. But no, the 50 song, I actually did get to listen to that because he actually has visuals for it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
I didn't see the visuals. I just saw
It's
the,
really good.
look,
It
there we
reminds
go.
me of old 50. Like,
Yeah.
and the cadence of it is old 50.
50.
Like, I really, but is you laughing? I can't say old 50.
Old 50.
Was this Farmers Boulevard?
It
Is
looked
Guyer
like
Brewer?
it.
Is this Queens?
Yes, it definitely is
Definitely
Guyer Brewer. Yeah.
It's Guyer Brewer.
Can we?
But yeah, I'll play the song.
Yeah, I like it.
It's featuring NLE Choppa, who I actually don't know. Like, I'm not that familiar with him,
neither.
but
I'm not either. What does NLE stand for?
I have no idea, but I've watched a few YouTube videos of him.
I know.
And
Screaming,
on
can we look it
Twitter.
up?
He's a very
What does NLE Chopper
intelligent
stand for?
young man.
Oh, really?
Come
Very
on, young
intelligent
man.
young man. He just, he falls in line with everybody else and just, sings the bullshit. But he's
You know
really,
we
really
old
smart.
when we calling somebody a young man. This
You know what I
we
mean?
are aunties as
No-
fuck.
no
He's a
love
very intelligent
entertainment.
young man.
Because I have to make the distinction that I'm not interested in him romantically.
Okay,
when
good.
I say things like that,
Yeah,
like
you're
it's me-
sunning him. I feel
Yes,
you.
you're
I have
a very
sometimes we have to do
intelligent
that.
young man.
No love
Please don't get
entertainment
it-
is what NLE.
No
So I
love
feel like
for.
there's probably a group kind of like the ASAP type of fam. Like maybe there's more
like it's a
NLE.
conglomerate. It's a conglomerate. Okay.
Conglomerate, respect.
Okay.
But yeah, it's featuring him as well as Riley Lanes, and it is called Part of the Game.
I'm loving the 80s vibes in this.
It is. Old 50.
Or 90s.
The sample,
I guess it's 90s. I guess it is 90s.
It's a 80s sample.
Oh. It's an 80s sample, but this is... Yeah.
Yeah. Give it all you got.
Tell me this ain't old 50.
I mean, when it works, it works.
It
The
does.
thing is, I don't think there's a new 50. I think this was always
This
his
is
sound.
just him.
Okay,
This
yeah,
was
no, it's
always,
him.
This
It's
is
him.
always his shit. This is him, 100%.
Quick up your body. Wake your body. Ay.
I like it.
It's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
This is a vibe.
Give it all you got. Give it all you got. Keep on rising to the top.
All right.
Give it all you got. Don't you let nobody stop you. Give it all you got. Keep
Is that
on-
Joey
keep
Badass?
on your
Okay.
body. Keep on your
In the
body.
video,
Wake
go
up
off, Joey
your body when
Badass.
you're moving around.
It's so New York.
It is. This is the ultimate
It's a
New
big
York.
New York vibe. I'm here for it. I love
I am
it.
too.
Yeah.
I love it.
Go
I
off,
love it.
Fifth.
I love it.
And 50 has definitely made sure he's, aligned himself with the youngins and guide them.
I don't
and,
know.
and
Yeah.
make acquaintance and make sure he collabos with them. And I do appreciate that because not enough vintage or, OG hip hop artists do that. So it's
Yeah.
good to see that he's making sure. I mean, there's for him to gain in that, but also,
Did we just call him vintage?
yes,
I'm sorry. I'm just.
you got to remember, 50 came out 20 plus years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
2 decades, bruh.
2 decades.
We were rubbing 2 quarters together. You say you were wankster.
Right.
But you
This
never
is 20 years
popped
ago
nothing.
is when we first learned about 50 Cent. So
It's true.
It's vintage.
Yeah,
It's
I
true.
agree. I
It's
agree.
vintage hip hop.
I want to go ahead and put you guys starting off 2021
she's
with
hype. She's
with
hype.
some artists that y'all may not be familiar with. Don't do me. Don't do me.
My girl is hype.
Damn,
Get hype,
y'all
Mandy.
so annoying.
Get hype, Mandy.
Come on.
Don't do me.
Give us
We
that
love
heat.
it. We ready.
Want it.
So the first artist. Oh my God, y'all are annoying. Okay, so the first freshly squeezed that I want to bring your way comes from an artist from Philly that goes by the name Armani White.
Okay.
Really, he's just a lyricist. He has a ton of projects on Apple Music that you guys can find, EPs. I don't think they're called mixtapes. We never really know the name, but
It's an EP.
he has a
it's
ton of those. And so he just dropped a single in December called Danny Mac. And I'm going to play that for you guys. Let me start it. Here we go. But no, I just really like him. Again, just really good lyrically. So here we go. And again,
He's
if you
cute.
listen,
He's a handsome young man.
he is handsome. He is handsome. So, ladies, go ahead and slide in them DMs.
He's cute.
He's a handsome young man.
He actually
Aw.
reminds me a little bit aesthetically of Black, Six
yeah.
Black.
I
You
can
know what
see
I mean?
that,
A little like that.
Not
I just
Six
really
Black.
like Six
Black.
Black.
I mean, that's what I say in my head.
Six
I don't
Black.
say it out loud, but I always call him Six Black in my head.
He's just. If you listen to any of his projects, not one song sounds like the other, which I feel like we get honestly from Philly artists sometimes. So I just really like he's well
I
rounded.
like his style.
Very good style.
I like his style.
And just really good music. I first heard about him.
He got good hair.
Oh, he has beautiful hair. Beautiful hair.
And
The
that Philly beard, honey.
the other artist that I wanted to put you guys onto is someone that I was introduced to in 2017. T-Dot Ill Dude.
Oh, T-Dot.
I absolutely
I love T-Dot.
love his music.
Yes.
So 2017, Red Dress. Oh my God, what other songs he has? Honestly, if you go back in his discography, unfortunately, I just want the 2017 album over and over and over and over again. Let me get that name for y'all of his album. I saw you. Are you you're familiar
Young
with?
Basquiat. Yes.
Yes.
I know T-Dot. I know Thomas.
And what's crazy is he's also from Pennsylvania, I believe from Philly, but he's now West Coast. The Vibe is Heavy 3, The Last Illustration, The Vibe is Heavy 2. Morning Comes Too Fast is his album from 2017 that is amazing. But he dropped a song December 11th.
Oh, he's from Willingboro,
Oh, Jersey. Oh, okay. Close to Philly, though. Close to Pennsylvania, right? Like, it's South Jersey, right?
I don't know Jersey.
I don't know
New
anything
Jersey.
either.
Shout out to Jersey. If you're from Willingboro, shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all.
If you know where Willingboro is,
shout out to y'all.
So this song is called Sinking. Again, came out. And it's just real. This is about 2020. It's real, like, just smoke a blunt, relax.
yeah.
Yeah. Really good visuals for this as well.
Yeah. Music with a message.
You know
I'm
what I
always here
mean?
for it.
You feel me?
There's also a shark in that pool. Did it?
No animals were harmed during the
I
making.
hope
of
not.
this.
That was
amazing.
a chlorine-filled swimming pool.
It might have been salt water. We don't
You know,
Maybe.
LA be fancy
right.
with the pools and shit.
But yeah.
It's a nice pool.
It really is.
Oh, the shark is bleed. Oh,
No, he's eating.
no.
He's eating.
Okay,
He's
thank
feeding.
God.
He's feeding. He's eating
I would
something
hope
in the
that this
pool.
is just graphics. You know what I mean?
I think it is.
I think
Yeah.
so too.
Yeah.
Anyways, those were my two picks. So shout out to Armani White and T. Ildu.
Yeah. That's a vibe.
Audio Max.
Freshly squeezed.
So I did want to get into maybe some more music with the topic that we've been wanting to bring up
Yes,
for so many weeks.
finally, we get to talk
On
about
this
it.
goddamn show. So y'all, the rest of this episode, we bringing it to girl talk, girl shit, women shit. And we've been talking, not only that, I ran across a room in the chatty house about it, but it's also a constant topic brought up on Twitter, is women being pick-me's. And I think we're seeing it more and more. I don't know if it has to do with...
Shout out to the Pick Misha room on Clubhouse.
Wait, I'm sorry. There's a pink...
There was a room on Chatty House
Yes.
called Pick Misha.
Wait, what?
Pick Misha. So I gotta be honest. Y'all put me on to what a pick me is.
You didn't even know what a pick-me was.
I don't associate with
Screaming, can we get the definition of a pick-me? And what's crazy is not only from Twitter did this come
Pick
about.
Misha is also available to be Googled. I'm dead. Y'all, get me out of here. A person who begs for attention and acceptance, approval of a certain group in different things they say. In most cases, it's to attain the attention, acceptance, and approval of the opposite sex. Someone who enjoys and finds empowerment in doing things that make their significant other happy. I don't agree with definition number 2.
I don't agree with number 2 either.
Because if they are your significant other, then you've already been picked.
For
That part.
The example is, you're a pick-me asshole.
That is
The
Shout
example
out to
is...
Urban Dictionary, because their examples after the definition are always terrible.
I will
Always
say
terrible.
I will say what I see as far as complete pick-me behavior is when women almost lower their standards on how they feel like they should be treated or what they should get out of a man in order to obtain said man.
Or they don't have any to begin with.
Well, that part too. I just think a lot of women, like, I would say this often has to do with courting or when a woman maybe wants too much from their partners. And you have women being like, oh, well, girl, you're just asking for too much because, you know, you don't need to be asking for that from a person. And I think that it happens a lot with dating. I know that, like, me and my friends have had many conversations as far as, like, letting a man come over too soon. expecting a man to pay for a certain date and how many dates they should take you on before you give them this. And a lot of women just feeling like, oh, well, a guy doesn't have to do all of that. A guy doesn't have to, take me out, or a guy doesn't have to pay a bill, or, and I just think, I don't know. What are your thoughts on the pick-me gals?
I mean, I don't know enough of them, so I don't want to judge.
I don't know enough
but
of
also, I don't think there's anything wrong with figuring out while you're in a dating stage what you need and what you don't need. Like I was always of the breed of women that had I have non-negotiables, and then everything else beyond that to me were kind of up for discussion based on circumstances or who the person is or case by case situation. Like I wouldn't. To me, establishing expectations, first of all, we should distinguish the difference between expectations and standards because they're not the same. I would like to start there.
Okay.
Because expectations to me are based on conversations and knowledge about the other person's capacity to meet them. Right?
Okay.
A standard is based on something that can be applied all across the board. Right? A level of quality or attainment.
Okay.
Their restaurant offers a high standard of service. So a high standard of service,
definition.
let's go. A high
Urban
standard
Dictionary.
of service can be, you can get a high standard of service at McDonald's and you can get a high standard of service at Mastro's.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the standard all across. The standard is being treated with respect. The expectation is based on what a person has shown you or said or given you their word about. I don't expect anything from a man that he doesn't give me his word on.
I don't expect steak from McDonald's.
I don't expect steak
They
from
did
McDonald's.
used to have though a steak. Wait, the steak, egg and cheese on a bagel breakfast sandwich that McDonald's used to have. I don't know what type of meat it really was, but it was a steak bagel sandwich.
You go ahead and enjoy that.
When
cartilage.
I tell you that,
And I got shit for wanting the dollar margarita at Applebee's.
I'm just saying, back in the day, and they discontinued it on their menu,
And rightfully so.
Nah, bro,
Shout
it
out
was
to
the best
McRib
thing.
eaters.
No. So it wasn't on a biscuit, bruh. It was on a bagel. The steak, egg, and
That's
cheese.
a lot of chewing.
Bruh, it was. I ain't gonna. It was. That thing was fucking fire.
That thing was 680 calories. Anyway, the fuck? How do you get, how? That's heart attack breakfast. Anyway.
Bruh, it was good though.
That's a high cholesterol situation. It's a high carb.
I mean,
too.
I haven't had it in
But-
years, but yes.
No, but I say all that to say, right? Talking about men paying bills and things like that, we always get into the comparisons of celebrities and we always tell people not to compare themselves to celebrities. I'm not Saweetie. I'm not making Saweetie money, so I'm not expecting a Birkin from my man who is
Or a
not Quavo.
Bentley.
Or a Bentley.
Shout out to
Or
Saweetie.
$1
That's
million.
not a realistic-
Shout out to Gucci.
It's not facts.
He just gave Keisha $1 million for her push.
It's her push gift.
It's her push gift.
Must be nice.
Right. Must
No,
be
in
nice.
real life.
But that's my point, right? We have to distinguish between expectations and standards. I hate when people call women high maintenance when in fact the maintenance is something that they are currently maintaining on their own. She's not high maintenance. It's not in your level of maintenance as a man, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You gotta date in your bracket. That's always how I see and how I feel.
Ooh.
So you can't put these expectations the same way men expect women to have these bodies, or if they don't have them, to go and pay for them. Fellas, if Funk Flex is on social media talking about he went and put his faja on, he can go out here and want a built body because he went and got his body built and got a faja on. Some of y'all not in a position. Some of y'all looking like Bebop and Rocksteady looking at Bernice Burgos, and you have no business. So I think we have to distinguish between expectations and standards, and that goes for men and for women. That's not just for women. I think that needs to be that distinction needs to be made before we have a conversation about pick-me's. Because if I'm doing something for a man that's courting me, that I'm interested in, and this is what we're doing. This is just how I am. This is the type of person that I am. This is just how I move. My standard is that reciprocity is my standard. So if I'm thoughtful, if I'm considerate, if I'm going above and beyond to, You know what I mean? To surprise you or to make you happy or whatever. My standard is reciprocity. So you don't have to spend a certain amount of money, but you definitely have to be thinking of me and what you're doing and considering me and how you're moving. Do we want the same things?
I mean, and I'll say, because of what I'm experiencing now in my relationship, I'm experiencing things that I've never gotten from a man, as far as like them going about their schedule to align with mine, or, you know, the fact that we can make plans together and it's not always his schedule. Like, I don't know, there's just thoughtfulness in what I have going on. And I feel like this, especially for women who want a man with power or money, a lot of times we have to take the back seat as far as, you know, what our life is to go about and make ourselves available for them. And so that's something where moving forward, my standards is that you flex your schedule as much as I flex mine.
Right.
And I want that. And I feel like for so long, you know, when you kind of get used to kind of getting shitted on by men, and you think that that's normal for them to not care or go out of their way for you, and just the basic necessities of a relationship that I don't feel like I got for so many years. And now that I got it, I was like, oh God, I'm never going back.
Well, maybe because you also I think we all do this, men and women. When we're young, we don't have the standard. We don't have a set standard necessarily because we don't have enough experience to know better.
Well, and I also brought it up too. Like, back then, I wasn't ready to fully be in a relationship to get myself to that. And so what's crazy is we have these conversations about what a man can do for you, XYZ, not knowing you're not looking for a boyfriend or a partner. You're looking for a sponsor.
Right.
And a lot of women just can't admit to that. They're looking for a trick. They're looking to be taken care of, but it's because they can't take care of themselves. And so as women, when we reach a level to where we make our own money and we can provide all on our own, how we view our partners changes completely. And I've noticed that recently. Like, I'm not looking for a man who could pay a bill. I can pay my bills. And so I think as women, though,
I can pay my own
you
light
feel me?
bill,
All of that. I mean, the light bill and a lot more. We in New York. These bills ain't cheap.
My own car.
They charge you to breathe out here.
No, but I just think as women, you like the things that you do ask from your partner as far as standards and what you expect out of them definitely change once you're in a place where you feel like you have something more to give than just what's between your legs.
But that's also because the expectation then is based on the relationship and the partnership that you're in. The standard is just what's applied all around. You're not looking for a man to pay your bills. You're looking for somebody to respect the fact that you can pay your own. That's a standard. That goes for every single guy that you come in contact with going forward.
It just sucks. I'll be honest with y'all. Again, this was a conversation I heard on the Chatty House. It's also for women. I think that we're in an age where we talked about entrepreneurship. As women, we strive to be boss women. We strive to make our own money. We strive to have our own places. And unfortunately, I feel like men could care fucking less where we're at as far as like the money we make, how much of a boss we are. And I think we see it a lot of times where we look at the women they choose who maybe have not much going for them. And that's the thing. Men don't look for partners the same way we look for partners to have all of that financial stability. So a part of it is when in dating, it's crazy that we strive so hard to be these independent women, these boss babes. And honestly, in the dating realm, none of that really means shit to a lot of guys.
So I have nothing to add to this conversation.
What do you mean?
Absolutely nothing.
I mean,
I sat here quietly for about 2 minutes. Nothing to add here. This just.
Why is that, bitch? You the one who said you needed 200,000. They remember.
I was asked a question.
Remember.
No.
Joe said.
I'm just saying.
Joe asked a motherfucking question, and I answered it with a number. Yes, and that is it.
I'm just saying, you got something to add. You have your
it.
standards and expectations in dating. You do.
Yeah, I do. But like,
that's also based
my mind
on,
ain't there right now. So like, I really could like care less. Like, respect and I appreciate this conversation because it needs to be heard. But my mind ain't there right now. Like,
as far as dating,
yeah, I'm really chilling.
I don't think there's anything wrong with women that only want to be that want to be kept and taken care of. I would like to say that first and foremost.
I agree.
Because I know some of those women. I grew up with some of them. So I know some of those girls who literally their entire aspiration was to be a stay-at-home mom and a wife. And that's totally cool. If that works for you and you are fulfilled in that, by all means, sis, live your best life. I have nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially because I also think being a mother is probably one of the greatest honors that you can have as a human being. You procreate and you raise you're responsible for a life, and you're taking pride and credit for, you know what I mean, instilling hopefully really good core values into another human being to exist on this planet. But for me, that's not it. There's way more to life than that for me, and I think for women that have prioritized that, especially more recently, I think it is harder because as we do have a lot of expectations for fulfillment within a partnership that men do not necessarily have.
Right.
And I think that's why a lot of men probably, stick or choose women that may not be professionally on the same level or as successful or as established as they are, because they are a lot less needy than, you know what I mean, than a woman is. So they want to be with someone that is okay and more flexible with fulfilling their needs and having less needs than them. The other thing that, that I discuss with my partner all the time, with my boyfriend all the time, is the importance of loyalty and understanding, looking at, athletes or celebrities who are in these partnerships from the very beginning of their careers, is because they started out on an equal playing field. So regardless of whatever the success is that comes on either side, the partnership, the founding of the partnership was on mutual respect and loyalty but that was the standard. So no matter what comes, no matter what amount of money comes after that, doesn't matter, because the standard is respect and loyalty. So I think that's the difference between somebody who's, I guess a pick me and somebody who's really interested in being in the gym with a guy while he's shooting in the gym.
I do want to bring up, because over the last week there has been a ton of relationship news. Really? Real quick of the shout outs, Naturi Natin is she on the book, the power book? Is she on
the
that?
Playbook?
The playbook, she on that?
The 50 Cent Laws of Power? Yes.
Yes.
So she announced that she is engaged to her best friend. Nice. Neo proposed to his wife, Crystal, who they actually separated earlier this year. Rotimi proposed to Vanessa.
Shout out to Vanessa Mandii.
Yes, I didn't know how to say her last name.
She's
okay,
one
Mandii.
of my favorite Afrobeat artists.
Yeah, so and it was just the ring is beautiful.
And they are such a great.
They're so
let me tell
cute
y'all,
together.
They're
so cute together.
The cutest. If you follow Afrobeat, just the culture of African artists and stuff like that, you already know of this couple.
Yes.
And how popular they are on social media, Instagram as well as YouTube. So this was an event.
And what's crazy is too, they just started dating maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
it's a recent,
but
I love it.
They're a social
soulmates.
Media couple,
and they're soulmates,
and
for sure.
they share on social. They're such a cute couple. So this was an event.
One of the other
Nigeria, you won a good one with this couple.
Yeah.
One of the other ring announcements came from a fellow Love and Hip Hopper. And I wanted to talk about
one that I love too. I love her.
She made a post, and I wanted to talk about it. So Masika Kalisha went ahead and showed off her ring over this past week. Again, there was a lot of rings and announcements of new relationships over the holidays. I do want to bring up one of her tweets, actually. Screamin', if you could pull it up, because she alluded to the fact that she curved her fiance for 97% of the time over the past 10 years.
Jesus.
And I was just like, I don't know if this is a good thing to say. I wanted to talk about, hold on, y'all know I'm going to find it before Scream Man do, apparently. So let me go ahead.
We're not going to do that.
Don't be doing Alex like that.
Alex like that. Alex be holding us down. Alex be quicker than us sometimes.
I got it. Fast. That's
Alex,
what it is.
Okay, don't worry, Alex, I got it. So Masika tweeted, met my fiance 10 years ago. Curved him for 97% of those 10 years. Been dating for 4 months. He asked me to marry him 4 days ago. Last night I asked him, what made you so sure after only 4 months of dating? He said, I knew 10 years ago, on the day that I met you, that I was going to marry you. She's got a lot of slack on that. And I kind of wanted to get into, I mean, I don't know. She has a lot of people saying that, okay, maybe she wasn't able to get who she really wanted. So because of her age, she's settling with someone. I just want to know.
She's not old.
Yeah, but how do you curve someone for 10 years?
She's not in her 50s. Like,
she's not.
She's young. She's in her 30s. That's not old.
And I would say when in dating, I mean, when.
No, the fuck is not.
That is not old.
What? How old is she?
She's like maybe 36, 37, if that. I don't even think she's that old. I think she might be 30, maybe my age or younger.
I mean, not really judgy, but I don't know if I would sit here and say I curved my fiance
Masika
for
is
10 years.
35. You're bugging. She's 35. She is not old.
Okay, she's not old. My
No.
bad. My bad, y'all. Did I say she was old? No.
You did.
Did I? Oh, okay.
That she's a little old to
You
be.
calling me old?
She's had a lengthy dating
I'm about to
history.
be 35
Okay,
in 4
my
months.
bad.
You
My
wanna
bad.
fight.
You're right. You're not old. So I just wanted to ask you guys: have y'all ever curved somebody for that
Yes, of
long? And they
course.
did they grow for you to be with
the
them?
answer was gonna be.
I mean, of course you curved
She
niggas.
didn't say this.
You know what I mean?
Okay. No, I've never wasted someone's time like that.
And that's what I feel. So it's not old, but I'm just
never
like,
wasted someone's time like that. That's cruel.
Can I? All right, but
okay, talk to us, Bridget.
I want to give a little context, and
Okay.
I don't know the ex. I don't know him. I don't know this guy.
Me
But I obviously this is someone that has waited a very long time to. He's probably been shooting his shot. So I don't see this as her wasting his time. I don't think they were dating for 10 years. I think
No,
he was
she
probably
said only for 4
trying,
months.
and she was like, no.
They've been dating for 4 months.
They've been dating for 4 months and they just got engaged?
4 months. Yes.
Well, when you know, I guess.
Well, he apparently always knew, but I'm just like,
I mean, he said that. He said he knew what. I mean, so he knew the whole time she was curving him. You know what I'm saying? Which is
right.
Carl is shaking his head.
Like, because it's just like, girl, what? And then for you to put out that you've been curving him for 10 years?
because I think there is something to be said about men that we may not look at that way or consider that way because we think we might want something different, and then you realize 10 years later that may not what you were looking for or what you were chasing wasn't good for you.
Yeah, ladies. These rappers and athletes, them ain't it.
I don't think that's settling. I think that's growing the fuck up and realizing that these dumbass celebrity men that you're chasing have nothing really substantial emotionally to offer. I don't think that's settling. I think that's growing up. I think that's realizing. And Masika is an incredibly intelligent, funny, eloquent woman. So she has a lot to offer. You know what I'm saying? And she's a hustler. She's a businesswoman first. And so I think that this is just an example of like her letting her guard down with somebody that she's been familiar with and being like, all right, yeah, like, okay, you're cool, we're cool. Let's see if this could be a thing. And realizing, oh shit, I've been playing. I think if nothing, it's really her saying, I've been playing myself for 10 years.
Do we know the story? Because you mentioned Notori and her best friend. Do we know the backstory of that? I didn't know. I learned about it today. Notori.
Oh, no, I don't know the backstory of it. She just said that she married her best friend.
Oh.
And this isn't I don't know enough about her personal life. This isn't the person she has her baby with or her child with, right? This isn't because she was married before.
I will also say,
yeah,
she was married before. They divorced. They had their daughter. And
got it. So this is someone else. Okay.
I will also say it seems as though she is keeping it a little bit private.
Great.
The pictures that I did see that she posted, she covered his face a lot.
Good.
Which I am
great.
See,
good.
I'm all
good. I
love
like
it.
this.
I love it.
Same.
I love it.
I'm all here for keeping
Ain't none of your
private.
friends' business.
That
I love
part.
it. It is. I think it's great.
Damn.
I will say that is something that I have learned over my time in dating. I think a lot of us, when we start to date, we look at someone as a boyfriend or a partner or a fiance or a husband first, and not if that person is even your friend. And so I think the importance of starting a relationship off as a friendship definitely makes a relationship stronger than anything else.
Yeah.
Facts.
I would agree.
You feel me?
I don't think it's settling though. I also think that it's interesting that COVID really, the pandemic really either brought people together or like totally, or shined a light on and amplified all the shit that was wrong in relationships. And I think that's kind of cool to see, is that a lot of people, myself included, yourself included, managed to find love during a time when we didn't have all the frills and all the bells and whistles.
It only took the world almost to end for me to find love, bitch.
Come on, y'all finding love.
The world had
With
to
your
end,
best
baby.
friend. Good best
There it
friend.
is.
That's
Go
my best friend.
Go best friend, that's my best friend.
Hey, hey.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm down.
I call on you, my friend.
Let's go. You know, just ad-libs for me.
Time of need, so I'm calling you now, just to make it good.
Make it
What else can I do? And don't you hear my plea? Friends may come and friends may go, but you should know that I got your back. It's automatic. So
All right.
Y'all did that. Okay. Y'all did that.
I guess sing for your best friend.
You know, I feel you. I won't sing. I'll ad-lib my way out of this. But before we get out of here, I did want to let y'all know a show that I recently watched on the Netflix.
On the Netflix.
On the Netflix, Bridgerton.
Give us a
Bridgerton.
And y'all, I actually don't like accents, and I don't know if I've talked about it on the show. How much I don't.
It
is so good.
Positively splendid.
Shout out to Shonda Rhimes.
Wonderful.
I didn't think I would like it at first.
That accent.
I did not think I would like it at first.
Another stop in Shondaland.
A lot of let's get married, and he proposed, and courses, and I will be using courses from now on to describe my period.
Yes.
I will call it a course. They call it courses on the show.
So what course do you say you're on?
They just say my course hasn't arrived.
My course hasn't arrived.
And it didn't arrive because there was a baby making in that oven.
Yeah, and then they wake up from their slumber.
Throat baby.
They wake up from their slumber and they check the sheets to see if their course has arrived, and it hasn't.
I really love it.
And they are with child.
It's really good. The leading man is beautiful. He's
his name?
Zimbabwean or something like that. He's from Zimbabwe and somewhere else, but he is just a beautiful, beautiful man. I do want to say,
He was Chicken George in the remake of Roots.
He was.
Chicken George.
He was.
That's who he is.
He
I
was.
just looked at him like, yo, his face looks mad familiar.
He
was
was.
Chicken George.
Google Chicken George.
or Bridgerton cast. What's his name?
Jean Page.
Jean Page.
Jean Page.
Jean. Excuse me.
He fine. I did want to talk up because I ended up in a hole on Twitter.
Shonda love her an interracial jungle
that
fever
part.
situation, honey.
And that is what the thread was about. And I wanted to know y'all's kind of thoughts on...
Not this sinister laugh, Liv.
Shonda is going to give you an interracial relationship if she don't give you anything else. So there was a whole thread on how you are just not going to get black love on a screen from Shonda Rhimes. And I wanted to know y'all's thoughts on that. Look, here we go. That part.
We're in love. He's got jungle fever.
Not the
He's
jungle
got jungle
fever.
We
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
First of all, we're watching the trailer while this is playing, and it's so funny. This shit is great.
I did.
We're in love.
Come on, jungle fever.
Yeah.
well, we're products of jungle fever. So.
We are. You know, a bitch like me votes yes for Jungle Fever every time. Like, yes,
You know, shit.
it's a win. You know what I'm saying? But I also think that it's interesting because obviously based on the time, the racial climate that we're in, right? Mm-hmm. It's so much safer to play on the interracial relationship thing on screen. It is. It's safer because think about it, right? Like all of our favorite like black love films or black love shows or stories or black shows are, you know, from the 90s, number one. Because the 90s was the epitome of black excellence on screen,
right?
Both on television and in film. And then, you know, now it's like we have all these like stereotypes and profiles that everybody gets thrown into, categories that everybody gets thrown into. It's like there's only one way to portray, you know, to portray black film or whatever, and rather than it be,
which is whack as fuck.
Which is whack. It's like
we're such versatile people in terms of
I agree.
personality and
And
the
so
way we are in
Yeah.
terms of culture. There's so many different subdivisions of Black culture. So
many.
for us to be stereotyped is still crazy.
Yeah,
to
there
this
was
day.
some ice skater, like a black ice
the
skater.
Twitter
Did you
thing?
see the Twitter thing?
Yeah.
And literally someone was like, "Ooh, wait till the Hood Olympics come." And so the idea that even you just associate Hood with blackness as well, like,
But also that
it's
the
just
only,
awful.
but also that the only level or only acknowledgement of Black excellence and high quality Blackness is Hood is whack as
whack.
fuck. It's a shitty narrative.
Absolutely.
Which is why I think I don't think it's deliberate on Shonda Rhimes' part. I think it's really just to really attract and appeal to a more vast audience than just an all white audience or a Black audience. I think that's more the thought process behind it, but I don't know.
I will say one of the things that I do love about what Shonda Rhimes does is she does cast Black women to be so powerful and strong. You have Annalise Keating in How to Get Away with Murder. You have Olivia Pope.
Right.
In Scandal. And then even this, you have a Black family as the Duchess and Dukes.
Right.
And so I just really love that she constantly finds a way to showcase Black power in that sense. And I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But she always putting us with some white people.
So
Goddamn.
The argument on Twitter was that there are so many examples in Hollywood where Black queer couples just can't be a Black queer couple. It has to be interracial.
Right.
And someone made an argument, which a lot of people agreed with, that even in those realms of queerness in races, there has to be some sort of white supremacy for it to be okay.
You know what's crazy? One of the shows that just came to mind, and I thought it was two Black women, but it wasn't. The Spike Lee joint from Netflix.
Oh, you talking about She Hate Me?
Is that what it is?
No, not She.
Oh
no.
Oh, you talking about She's Gotta Have It?
She's gotta have it.
With
Even in her
Nola Darling.
Nola Darling, but even her lesbian relationship was with someone who is a little bit more racially ambiguous.
Yeah.
And her name is Ilfanesh, and I went to high school with her, and she's mixed also. Shout out to Ilfu. Hey, hey, girl.
There we go. But no, I think in 2021, I would like to see more just Black couples and Black queer couples on TV.
Well, going back to that, in the 90s, we had Noah's Ark
Right.
on the Logo channel. Noah's Ark was about...
the Logo channel.
Yes, a throwback. So Noah's Ark was one of the first original series that premiered on the Logo channel, where it was kind of like a Sex in the City with all gay Black men.
Wow.
And it was about their relationships. One couple is trying to adopt. Another couple, they're young, and one of them is on the DL, and they're trying to... It's a great show. If you could find it on the internet, it was just a phenomenal show. But that was an example of it's just all Black men. I think one of them is Puerto Rican.
And
but
if you
other than
haven't,
that,
if you haven't yet, if you do want to see Black queer and Black love and just the ins and outs of what we have to deal with as humans, I May Destroy You. It's a little old at this point.
Terrific.
But beautiful cinematography, beautiful writing, and just so many underlying conversations that are brought about by it. I absolutely love it. Can I get who wrote the I May Destroy You? Her name?
Michaela Cole.
There we go. Michaela.
That's my girl.
Yeah. Amazing.
Shout out to Bubblegum too. If you ever watch Bubblegum.
Bubblegum was fire.
Didn't they take that off Netflix though?
They did.
I don't know if it's still on Netflix.
Bubblegum was really entertaining.
I watched it season several times.
Michaela's brilliant.
I hope it comes back.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
I ain't mad. One other thing, if you guys are looking for something to watch, although I'm sure a lot of y'all are back to work and away from the holidays, but the mockumentary 2020 Death
Definitely
of
got to get into it.
Oh my God, it's so cute. It has Samuel L. Jackson, and it's just really good. It's about 2020 and what we endured over the last year. And watching it, there was, I don't know, it was kind of like The Office type of humor. Like, it was just funny as fuck watching it, but you could tell, like, it wasn't supposed to be super funny, but it was. I don't know. It was just really dry.
Help it.
Death to 2020 is what it is. It was really good.
Excuse me, it's chewing gum.
Chewing gum.
Chewing gum.
Michaela Cole's
Chewing
Chewing
Gum.
Gum. So look that up if it's still
yes.
on Netflix. I don't know, but it
Definitely
was
got to get into this mockumentary.
it was
Oh, the
weird
mockumentary was
black
good.
girl humor, so I liked it. But the mockumentary is
I gotta
Good.
get into the mockumentary.
And it's like an hour and 20 minutes.
Something else to watch if you have Showtime. Get into Your Honor with Bryan Cranston.
really
Oh yeah, Bryan Cranston is genius. first of
Cranston
all.
is gonna give it to you. So.
But yeah, Your Honor is a fire show. He plays a judge, and his son is involved in a fatal hit and run accident where he is the driver. And the child, the kid that ends up being killed is the son of a mob boss. And so rather than let his son take the fall, he decides to find a way to cover it up and put the blame on someone else.
Yikes.
Which wages a war. It takes place in New Orleans, which essentially wages a war between the mob group, the white mob group, and basically the hood, because they end up in the midst of trying to cover it up. They try to get rid of the car, and they have a young black kid try to get rid of the car, and he ends up getting caught and ends up getting accused of the murder because the car had like something from the scene of the crime, whatever. You just got to watch it. It's really powerful, and it's incredible to watch the amount of white privilege that exists even within the family, even within his own son, and his sense of his conscience and feeling bad, but still not being willing to come forward and really tell the truth about what happened. It's just a great show. It's a suspenseful thriller. It's worthwhile. Definitely worthwhile
gotta
watching.
check that out.
It's called Your Honor on Showtime. So get into it. What the fuck is going on?
When you said, Your Honor, this is what came to mind. I'm sorry. I had to bring it back, y'all.
And also, Yana, I'm a freak bitch.
So for y'all that do not know,
Since we're here.
this is a convicted felon that decided to sing Adele's Sorry to the judge during his sentencing back in 2016. And that's all I could think about as you were talking about Your Honor.
How did we get here? Mandi's segues, I tell you.
Man, that was a good one. I like that.
You like that with me? I was like, as soon as I heard Your Honor, I just said, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's really it's the hands, it's the whole thing. Your
Listen,
Honor,
he was cuffed singing. Like in his little jumpsuit, bitch. I was here for it.
He was auditioning.
I don't know what he was auditioning for, but shit. Anyways, I guess I did want to leave off with addressing some of our listeners. Liv,
Really?
Should I read the comment?
What comment?
Apparently, they don't like that we all disagree. Someone in the comments wants us to agree on everything, and therefore we are unlistenable.
Okay.
Because we disagree on everything, and they don't understand why we don't agree on shit.
Okay, so let's collectively, as one band, one sound, agree on.
Not one band, one
Fuck
sound.
you! Don't listen then. Don't fucking watch then. We don't care.
I just also I love, again, you guys are getting more of our background, who we are. And I love that as women, we can sit here and disagree and debate and not take things personally. But I also don't know who wants to listen to three people like, yep, everything she said.
We're not yes men.
I agree.
We're not pick me bitches. I don't
Say
care
that.
if you pick me. Liv don't care if you pick her. Mandy don't care if you pick her either. We don't care if you pick us. Because see, the thing is, we didn't pick y'all either.
All right. What we getting out of?
We appreciate y'all listening.
Liv, how we leading out of here, baby? Give it to me. I do. Shout out to everyone who tweets us at @SeeTheThingIs_. Make sure y'all check out our playlist on Audio Mac, and then the YouTube and everyone in the SoundCloud. Does SoundCloud, do they be leaving comments on there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So everyone
Shout
who
out to
listens
the
to us on
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud, I
gotta
guess
get
that's the
into them.
Android. That's the green bubble people.
Yeah.
Shout out to the green bubble people.
Make sure you check out our Freshly Squeezed playlist on Audio Mac, as well as our episode if you are not a green bubble person on SoundCloud.
All right.
What we getting out of here to, Liv?
All right.
We've got jungle fever. We're in love.
Damn, we real aunties, y'all. The way on, bend that thing over.
Yana, she a freak bitch.
See now,
Yana, I'm a freak bitch.
We'll see y'all next week.
okay, so next week we gotta leave off to juvenile.
Oh God.
What? No,
Yeah, we can.
We can, right?
Can. We all twerk.
I'll twerk.
Yes, twerk next week. Tune in next week, y'all. We gonna twerk.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.